I have been dating a girl for about a year and 3 months now. When we first got together, she warned me that her parents, mainly her father, are a bit crazy. Boy, was she right. When we first got together, everything was good, no issues with them, and I heard good things back from her that her parents liked me. Her dad is a very straight and narrow type of guy. His way or the highway. He has a lot of control over her. She has a curfew and is not allowed to stay over whatsoever. Don't even think about it, which I can somewhat respect considering she still lives at home, etc. She's not allowed to attend any of the weekend trips that my family and I go on, even though her parents are invited to them as well. There was one instance where he did say yes that she could go on one camping trip with my family and me. What a mess. We were lying in bed at night about to go to sleep. We have very limited service where we are, so text messages and phone calls kind of come when they want to. She gets a text message from her mother saying to call her as soon as possible, etc. We rush out to the road to try and gain some better cell service for a phone call. She reaches her mother, and her mother tells her that she is here to pick her up. We passed by her on the way out, but didn't realize that it was her. We meet up with her mother, and she says that her father sent her up here to get her. We are about 5 hours from home. So here we are, thinking something terrible has happened for her to drive 5 hours to come get her, only to find out that he just wants her home and regrets letting her go. We stood there and talked for roughly 2 hours, and her mother insulted me multiple times for reasons as trivial as the genre of music I like. Let me remind you, her parents were invited on this trip but chose to stay home. They both ended up staying with me and my family for the night. Her mother woke up and left before the sun rose due to fear of embarrassment. She goes home later that weekend to find that her mother is in trouble with her father because she went up there and tried to get my girlfriend to come home, which would then go against his word that she could go. Then my girlfriend was also in trouble for not listening to her mother. Her mother has always been nice to me, making me coffees and sending me home with leftovers, etc. Her father has always been nice to me as well, even though he always has something to say behind my back to my girlfriend for something as small as the vehicle I drive, not being a high-quality, long-lasting Toyota. Just recently, for Family Day, I invited her family up to my father's house to go ATVing, something I have done on a few occasions, but they have never taken me up on my offer. This time they did. The morning of when they were supposed to come, her dad says he isn't feeling well, which is fine, no pressure. He ends up saying he's going to pass, but that her mom can still go, and he will load the ATVs for her, and she and my girlfriend can go together. So the ATVs are loaded, trucks packed, they're ready to leave. At the last minute, he says to her that this isn't a good idea because she's never towed this specific trailer with this truck. She's been driving big trucks and trailers for over 30 years. They owned a landscaping company together. She ends up starting to second guess herself and ends up bailing too, but she still decides to come up, and she will just ride one of our machines. The day goes by, we have an amazing day, and she goes home to find him in a fit of rage that she went without him, and all this other stuff from past experiences with her. Nothing bad. She's a very good wife and mother. He's just out to lunch. He ends up kicking her mother out for this, and she goes and stays at a friend's house. A few days go by and she comes back, and they talk. My girlfriend overhears them talking about me, mainly him yelling at her, and she's just listening. He tells her that she emotionally cheats on him with me because of how nice and helpful she is with me. The coffees, leftovers, etc. Turns out he doesn't like that she's nice to me because I haven't put in the work. Not sure what that means. He can't even explain it himself. I have helped them around their house many, many times, from yard cleanup to cooking dinner and breakfast. This is getting to the point where he's mentally harassing all of us, and he's playing mental gymnastics to get them to listen to him and go by what he says. No one is allowed an opinion or a choice. He just recently said I'm not allowed at their place anymore, which is extremely hard on my girlfriend to do all of the driving. We live about an hour apart. In the past, he's complained that I don't come down enough. Now I'm not allowed at all for next to no reason other than his wife is nice to me. They stopped sleeping in the same bed, and he got mad at her for sleeping in the bed that I usually sleep in when I stay over there, saying that she's only sleeping in that bed because I did. He got so mad that he punched a hole in the door while she was trying to sleep. When they both listen to him and abide by his crazy rules, the house runs smoothly. When they don't, it's like the sky is falling. There have been many instances like the ones I just explained over the years that my girlfriend has explained to me. Her mother has been kicked out over a dozen times for stuff as small as this. She's a battered woman. Everyone she talks to is telling her to leave. Me, my family, her boss, her family, and even the women's shelter she called told her to leave. She won't, so I have given up trying with her. Almost forgot. She recently booked a trip for her and my girlfriend to go to England to see her mother. Her dad has a big fear of airplanes, so he does not fly. Over the whole family day situation, he made her cancel the trip to England, saying how if she didn't, then she didn't love him. I should also mention that my girlfriend's maternal grandmother is currently being treated for cancer, and she hasn't seen her in over 10 years. She does end up canceling the trip, and my girlfriend is devastated over it. Rightfully so. Anyways, there's lots more to this. This is just a drop in the bucket, but that's the main juicy stuff. Things are okay between her and me, but she always seems to get sucked into his crazy narcissistic ways, saying she's a terrible daughter and that her mother is an idiot for letting her date me, etc. I recently offered to let her move in with me to escape this, but she seems hesitant to leave them. I'm not going to twist her arm that if she doesn't leave to stay with me, then I'm going to break up with her. But I frankly want absolutely nothing to do with her family anymore, and that's not healthy for her or me, I don't think. I feel bad leaving her over her family stuff, but I have to deal with these people for the rest of my life, and I just know I won't be able to do it. I feel lost and confused about how to deal with this. I don't see us lasting much longer if she stays with her family because I will not deal with their trivial issues with me and her dating. Mainly her father, and her mother is just a spitting image of him due to reasons I have stated above. A lot of their marital issues are blamed on my girlfriend because her father is not approachable on anything, so her mother does it for her, and that causes issues. Now, for a few comments before the update, I'm sorry, but this bothered me. Allowed has to do with sound. You're looking for the word allowed. An easy mistake to make, though. Good luck with your girlfriend. Now, for the update. It's been about a month since the camping trip, and things have only gotten worse. I thought things with Olivia's family were a lot of drama before, but now it's just like episode after episode of some reality show that I don't want to be watching. Olivia's dad has become super aggressive towards her mom. Like every little thing that goes wrong in their lives is her fault. I don't know if he was always like this, or if the camping trip just pushed him over the edge. Either way, it's not good. The family dynamic has just shifted so much. Olivia's dad now demands to be in the loop about every little decision made in the house. I mean, I'm sure he always thought he was the boss or whatever, but now he's acting like he thinks he's the president or something. Olivia told me that he even went through her phone without permission. Like, excuse me, what? That's a whole other level of controlling. One night, during a family dinner, things just exploded. Olivia mentioned wanting to go to a concert with me, and her dad just lost it. He started going off about how she was being selfish and only thinking about herself. Olivia's mom tried to calm him down, but ended up getting yelled at for not controlling Olivia. Like, what does that even mean? How is it her mom's fault that he's being a jerk? After that dinner, Olivia and I decided to take a break from seeing each other to avoid more family drama. We talked about it, and it just seemed like the best idea. But of course, life had other plans. I drove to her house one day to check on her, and I got there just as her dad was leaving for a work trip. Thank goodness I didn't run into him. Olivia let me in, and we had to talk quietly in her room while her mom was in the kitchen. It was nice to see her, but the whole vibe was just off. We were both trying to be happy to see each other, but knowing that her dad could blow up at any moment just sucked the happiness right out of the room. A few days later, Olivia sent me a message saying her dad found out that I visited and he went ballistic. Like, seriously? He stormed into her room, demanding to know why I was there. Olivia stood up to him, saying she was old enough to make her own decisions, and even though I'm glad she did that, I was kind of nervous for her. You know how these controlling types are. They don't like to be told no. Her dad then threatened to cut her off completely if she didn't comply with his rules. That was a big red flag for both of us. The next weekend, we planned to go to a family birthday party for her younger brother. I arrived early to help set up, and guess what? Olivia's dad was already in a bad mood, snapping at everyone. I was on high alert, waiting for him to recognize me and lose his mind. During the party, he made several passive-aggressive comments about Olivia spending time with me. At one point, he even loudly announced that no one should take her side against him. The guy is such a jerk. But here's the thing. Olivia confronted her dad in front of everyone, and I couldn't believe it. She said she was tired of his control. The atmosphere turned so uncomfortable, and several guests looked like they wanted to just disappear. Her dad yelled back, saying she would ruin the family if she continued this way. His words were just so dramatic. It was like he thought he was in a play or something. Olivia's mom tried to calm things down, but ended up getting caught in the crossfire. It was just a mess. After the party, I suggested that we plan a weekend getaway to clear our heads. Just the two of us, without any family drama. As we discussed this, Olivia revealed that her dad had been secretly monitoring her finances. She found out he had access to her bank account and was tracking her spending. The guy has no boundaries. That night, we came up with a plan to confront him about his overreach. We decided to record our conversation, hoping to catch him in his manipulative tactics. The following week, we sat down with her dad, and things escalated so quickly. He denied everything and accused us of being overly dramatic. Olivia played the recording, and his face turned pale as he heard his own words. He tried to dismiss it, but Olivia stood firm and demanded respect. The confrontation ended with him storming out. But of course, he retaliated. He cut Olivia off financially and refused to pay for her college tuition. He must have thought that would scare her into submission, but it kinda just made her more determined. She applied for several scholarships and part-time jobs, refusing to back down. I helped her with the applications, and she got an interview for a job at a local cafe. Just watching her go through this whole thing, it was inspiring. After weeks of hard work and determination, Olivia received a scholarship that covered her tuition. She was so happy, and I was just proud of her. She's been through so much, and she's just trying to live her life and make her own decisions. I know we have our own challenges to face, but I believe we can get through this together. To answer a few questions, Olivia's dad's behavior has always been controlling, but the camping trip intensified it. He went through her phone, demanded to know her whereabouts, and became aggressive towards her mother. Olivia stood up to him, which led to threats of financial disconnection. They discovered he was monitoring her bank account. The recording of their confrontation exposed his manipulation, resulting in him cutting her off financially. Olivia then earned a scholarship, reflecting her determination and resilience.